Hey, welcome back to JG3 Reviews. My name is James, and here we explore the world of fountain pens, ink, and paper, and sometimes we even venture out into non-fountain pen pens like this Olight O'Pen Glow, which means it was sent to me for review. But don't worry, you get in this video what I think, what I like, what I don't like about this pen, ways that maybe it could improve, and because it was sent to me for review from Olight, they have also given to you a discount code which can be found in the description below. And what is the Olight O'Pen Glow? Well, it is a bolt-action roller pen with an LED in the clip with 4 light settings that we'll look at. A laser, a green laser up at the top. And as a cool bonus, a writing tip LED. And it has a recharging stand that comes with it as well, because this is a lithium battery-powered rechargeable pen. Interested? Well, let's spin that camera and take a closer look then. All right, when you first get your Olight O'Pen Glow, it comes in this box very similar to Apple packaging or Samsung Galaxy packaging. That's what their boxes remind me of. And it does come well packaged. Of course, I've already had this pen out for a bit, testing it and writing with it and figuring out how all the various accessories work. So let me just get everything out of the package and let's look at it all at once. All right, let's look at what is included in the box. First, you have, of course, the pen, which we'll take a closer look at in just a second. It does come with both a black installed in the pen and a blue Olight refill. I love that they put an extra refill in there and gave you color options. You have the charger. Now the charger is also a pen stand with a USB-C connector, and the USB-C cable is included for charging. And it has this magnetic base plate with 3M sticky on one side. So let's say if I wanted to charge my pen here every day, that's not where I would choose, but just for the sake of this, if I wanted to put that there, I could stick that to my desk mat, and then the charger would have a more secure base. And so if you've got a good place that you want to keep that, I think that's great. My desk at work, for example, I have one of those cable management holes right there, and I could put this right next to it and could keep the cable more or less hidden and out of the way, which James would like. So that's kind of nifty, and that little base has the Olight logo, kind of cool. You will notice down inside the base is a copper ring for charging the pen, and that's because when you put the pen in, there is a copper ring right here at the pen tip, and so you will put that in the charger and it will charge. I'll plug that in and show you how that works here in just a second. Then we have the user manual, and let me say, in this case, you may, even if you are not an owner's manual kind of person, you may want to take a quick glance at how to use the pen, because when you start using those lights, as I'll show you here in a second, you're going to need to know how it works. So here we have the O'Pen Glow. It is a metal-bodied pen with a great OD green, which I really kind of like, and it is dimpled at the grip section, which I also like. It helps you get a good purchase, which with metal pens, of course, can be an issue sometimes, but I think this works really well. It is, again, a bolt-action pen, and that works really nice and smooth, as you can hear. And this doubles as a switch. So remember that. We'll come back to that here in just a second. As we come down the pen past that dimpled grip section, you have that tip again where there is the copper ring. Put the pen out, and there you have your ballpoint. The clip houses an LED, and this LED has 4 settings, and those settings can be found here on the box. And let's just go over this for a second, because you have the first setting, which is 5 lumens, will last 5 hours and throw 2 meters, and then you have a low setting of 20 lumens for an hour and 50 minutes and 6 meters, medium for 60 lumens, 45 minutes and 10 meters, and high, which is between 60 and 120 lumens and 14 to 21 minutes and 14 meter throw. Now, I don't have a way to test the lumens on the pen, but I would say that it compares favorably to other lights I have with the same ratings. Now, it looks like you have a click up here, but this is actually a switch for that LED. That's at the low setting, the 5 lumen setting. And if you hold it, it will cycle through the brightness settings, and then you just click it again to turn that off. Very handy. Just remember that this is not a click pen. It is a bolt action pen, or you might blind yourself. And really, it is bright enough that you don't want to stare at that LED right as you're about to turn it on, kind of angle it away from yourself. I find it kind of handy that it's in the clip, because then you can put it in your pocket, and then it's kind of like those old war surplus flashlights that were at a 90-degree angle to shine ahead of you, although this is actually brighter on its high setting than those ever were for me. Now, to activate the laser, you have it in this J-gate, you have it with the pin closed, and you push and hold, and then you have your laser there, see? So the laser light works well. It's a green laser. It throws a pretty good long distance, and I find that to be a decent laser. Just remember, don't look into the laser. You don't want to damage your retinas, but it does work quite well. I only wish at this moment that I had a cat to test it on and to mess with, having it chase it around the room, because let's face it, then this might have gone viral. To turn that laser off, you just press and hold again. Now let me tell you, this is why you got to look at the instructions. That was not intuitive for me, and I would never have figured that out had I not decided, maybe for this one thing, I got to go back to the instructions. So, there you go. Now, as I mentioned, it did come with both a blue refill and then an installed black. To change that out, you would simply open this up and swap out that refill. And you'll notice when you do that there is an O-ring to keep that watertight. Now let me show you one of my favorite features of this pen. As some of you know, I like to hunt and fish, and the tags are plastic, and so you have to use like a ballpoint pen. And sometimes when I need to fill this out, it's almost dusk and the sun is starting to set, and it gets a little bit hard to see. And that's where the next trick of this pen comes in, because it has an illuminated writing tip so that you can see what you are writing. So that I can just put down here, for example, Mills, because often I hunt in Mills County, and you can actually see what you've just written. Let me tell you, that is so handy. And whether you're hunting and fishing, or whether you're just out camping, or I don't know, maybe you're changing your oil in the dark, this is just a cool little gadget. All right, now we have the charger all plugged in, and you will notice there is a nice green glow to let you know there is power to the charger. Then when you put the pin in, that will glow red so that you know that the pin is charging, and of course go back to green when the pin is fully charged. And this all seems to work as it should. Now, if it doesn't, you should know that the manual includes warranty information, and it does come with a 2-year warranty here in the U.S. All right, and time for a quick size comparison. Of course, you have the Olight O'Pen Glow, great outdoors pen, and I have the Bic Multi Pen, because this is what I often carry whenever I am going hunting or fishing, and then the Zebra Sarasa, a ballpoint gel pen that I really like, and the Lamy All-Star, because this is still a fountain pen channel, right? The Olight, with those extra accessories and a battery, of course, is a little bit heavier than these pens, but it's not crazy heavy. All right, how does the pen write? Glow, and of course this is just black refill. I would say, by the way, that this writes about a medium and writes quite well. So the pen writes well. I think that grip feels really good. It's a little bit back-weighted because of the battery and mechanism here at the top for all of these lights and everything, but not terribly so. All right, so let's talk likes and dislikes. First, the bolt action, which I don't have to have a bolt action pen, but I understand that's a trend and it works really well. This is a smooth action, and yeah, I think that's fine. It's low on the pen. Maybe a dislike would be it's almost low enough that it bothers my hand there sometimes if I hold the pen a certain way. But overall, I think it works well, functions well, and I like how they've incorporated the switches into this. Maybe I would have put maybe just a little bit of something here to let me know, an icon maybe, to let me know this is what activates the laser by pushing up, something like that. but that's me being nitpicky, but that's all right. That's what we do around here. The LED here on the clip, I like that. That, to me, is a winner. It works really well. It lights up well, and it's a handier spot than you might think at first. Now, I actually have a daily carry Olight keychain flashlight that I love because it's rechargeable. As you can see, I've had that for a while. It's been bouncing around in there with my keys, and it's held up really well, and it's also USB chargeable. I really like that, but having this combined with the pen is one less thing. If I got tired of carrying this around in my keychain, then this would be an improvement. Now, the laser. I don't use a laser that often, which is interesting because I'm a public speaker and a preacher and a teacher, and so you might think that I would, but I don't use lasers all that often, and as I mentioned, we don't have a cat. So, this is probably not as useful to me as it would be for many of you, because if you want a laser pointer and you do use them often in presentations or things like that, this is excellent and it works well. Now, what to many people might seem like a gimmick is it is the biggest like for me, and that is the LED here in the pen tip. Because again, I do sometimes write in the field at night, and this, while it's a small thing, is really handy, and what a great way to have incorporated that. When I first received the pen for review, I didn't even realize that this was part of the package. I immediately saw this and thought this was the only light, but it is not. I thought that was great. When I realized that there's actually this light down here in the pen tip, game changer for me, that I really appreciate. So if you're someone that would find that handy, even if you don't need the laser, you can get the model without the laser, cheaper, and get that light, because this is really cool and really handy if you're somebody who writes in the dark or at dusk or in the early morning hours. Any other niggles that I have with the pen? Maybe the only thing I have is true of a lot of pens these days, and that is a lot of pens are tall, and that clip requires a deep pocket, but the fashion industry isn't paying attention, and our pockets, shirt pockets, are often shallower than they used to be, if they're there at all, and so longer pens don't fit as many pockets as others. So a little bit shorter would be nice, but I understand, this is not empty space, and as form follows function, that just may be the length of the pen. So that's not a deal breaker at all. I really do like the pen overall, and now that the next holiday is Father's Day, I do think this is a great Father's Day gift. Now, not just fathers, there are a lot of other people that will find this pen handy, but the holiday's coming up when I'm doing this review, and I think there's a lot of guys that might like that sort of a thing, because it's not just, we get too many gadgets sometimes as dads, but these, they all work. They actually do what they're supposed to do, and there's real practicality, kind of a Swiss Army knife of LED light pens, and I think that's a cool thing to be. So there you go, the Olight O'Pen Glow. And if you use the promotional code that's in the description, you'll also get a free safety light, which comes with this clip and uses their clip system, which is very handy, so that you can put that on a life vest or on your shirt pocket or whatever, so that you can have a safety light as you're hiking, fishing, whatever it is that you like to do outdoors. It comes with 3 LED lights that you can change their pattern, their color, and be able to keep up with each other, or be able to alert people to your location if you get lost in the woods, as I once did up in upstate New York. That's a long, hilarious story. So be sure and take advantage of that. And God bless you, and have a great week.